King news, my lovely, wonderful people. Yesterday, we saw senators walk out of meeting because Akpabio is totally committed to ensuring that he takes over the Senate and does Tinubu's bidding, his bidding, and most of the things they are doing is mainly for them, not for the people. Now it gets messier because senators are ready to spill. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. In the Senate, the chief whip walked out on Akpabio 2 months after threatening drastic action. Senators in shouting match over Akpabio's mistake. Akpabio threatens legal action against Abo, says allegation reckless, childish, barely 24 hours to the commencement of a restoring retreat for senators. A fresh preliminary mistake by President of the Senate, Godwin Akpabio, has thrown the Senate into an uproar. Chief Whip walk out on Akpabio. More and more coming out. Barely 24 hours to the commencement of a restoring retreat for senators, a fresh preliminary mistake by the president of the Senate, Godwin Akpabio, has thrown the red chambers into another round of crisis, resulting in a shouting match on the floor yesterday, an uprising and crisis between the two gladiators, Akpabio and the Senate Chief Whip, Aliyu Nodi. The center between the duel can no longer hold, just 4 months after the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, during which Nodum played a leading role in the emergence of Akpabio as the Senate president. Signs that all was not well between the two friends emerged 2 months when Nodum declared that some senators were planning to take drastic actions against Akpabio for mistakenly disclosing that a holiday allowance has been sent to senators' bank accounts. Yesterday, barely 10 minutes after the commencement of the preliminary, Nadim raised points of order against the blunder committed by the Senate president, which he refused to correct. The error in reference was a motion moved by Senator similarly Kwai NNPP Kano State after a debate on the need to reopening of Nigeria-Niger border, but without stating the title of the motion. Nadim, citing Order 51 of the Senate Standing Rule, requested the Senate President to allow for correction of any error made or observed in preliminary. Mr. President, there are some things we do in this chamber that are against the rules. It is not right. Nobody is too big to learn. He said in disgust, "This is the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, guarded by laws, rules, and procedures. If in the course of proceedings at any section errors are observed, they must be corrected before forging ahead with such proceedings," he said. But Akpabio won't have none of it, as he quickly interrupted him, insisting that having rules on issues raised cannot be revisited and consequently ruled out Nadim out of the order. Senator Sunday Karima, APC Kogi West, speedily attempted to sustain Nadim's line of argument through another point of order, but also swiftly ruled out of order by the Senate president. As the shouting match raged on, Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barrow, quickly rose to read out 16 and asked senators to respect the rule and request of sustainable motion to be moved by any senator for correction or review or of earlier decision taking. It was immediately sustained by Akpabio. Nadim, by raising another point of order, Order 54, saw that correction of perceived error should be made, but without allowing Nadim to make full presentation of his argument, Akpabio ruled him out of order again, Angered at Akpabio's decision, Nedum packed his document and stormed out of the chamber amidst of the uproar created by the senaries. Senators hurriedly went into a closed-door session. Nedim later returned after receiving a call that the Senate has moved into a closed session. It will be recalled that Akpabio has, before the Senate adjourned for its annual recess in August, told his colleague that money has been sent to them to enjoy their holiday. The Senate president, who forgot that the proceeding was being streamed live, began to address his colleague before adjourning motion was moved at the end of the Senate's ministerial screening. So this is what is happening. Nigerian Senate is in disarray, okay? Because the person Tinubu chose is going out of law and order, if you ask me. And so things are beginning to, when you don't pay attention, when you disregard what you should pay attention to, after a while, the cracks shows. It shows. When a building is faulty and then you go in and just plaster and paint, sweetheart, I want you to shout with me, say time. Yes, again, time. Time will reveal it. Because if the foundation of that very building is not enough to sustain the structure on top of the building, it's only a process and a matter of time. The cracks will begin to show. And if the cracks are showing and you still don't pay attention, sweetheart, say time. After a while, you will see that building fall apart. It was Chinas Chibe that wrote a powerful poem or a powerful play, if I want to put it that way, and says, things fall apart when the center could no longer hold. You are serving Nigerians, but it seems very much like you're serving yourself. The senators, they go there, and mostly what they are putting forward is their allowances, all that pertains to the offices, rather than service first. So you see the greed shine through, and every single person is wondering, are these the people who begged us to serve, to vote them in? Yeah, they get there and they begin to display their true inner self. Identity rises up of who they truly really are. And so Nigerian Senate today feels more like a laughing stock, because those that should pay attention to ensure that priority is given to what needed priority, they are the very people who gets there and they begin to station and put out things that mainly and mostly give them the leave of allowance for them to enjoy themselves rather than the people. This is shameful. It is sad, but it's the reality of what happens. God help us. I will say it again, God help us. Leave us a comment. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.